Right. So for this living together, okay, before we even go into food chain, can you all see what I'm writing?
Yeah.
Not too small, right? Okay. So we need to talk about, what are organisms? You see these words appearing often. Okay. So organisms actually refers to living things. Okay. If you have your notebook, you'll be good to write down certain notes because these are actually notes that you need to take note of as in important key concepts for this topic. If your teacher is going to bring you, okay, let's say out of school for an excursion, then you will actually be identifying a lot of things in our environment. All right. You'll be exploring different habitats. You'll be also looking at different kinds of organisms. And hopefully you enjoy your trip because that's what we did for P6 students. Okay. Okay. All right. So organisms, where do they live in? Okay, they live in this place called the habitats. Tommy, do you still remember this, Tommy? Yeah. Okay, so all these you have to know, Tommy. Then for organisms, right? Yeah, we also explore what is population. Okay, so population actually mean the same type. Same type of organisms, okay, that are found living together. Okay, example, if we have the frog population, if we are talking about the frog population, then we have the adult frogs. Okay, we also have the tadpoles. Right? Then you also have, tadpoles is actually known as the young, right? Correct not? But the young also can have, something that look like half-formed frog. So it has got 4 legs plus a tail. You remember? Have you all seen that before? So from a tadpole develop into the young, okay, already, tadpole is a young, but it will actually further go into, okay, the young frog, which still has got a tail. Okay? Yeah. The tail has not gone away yet. Okay, so this is like the frog population. Another example, if I talk about chicken, okay, then chicken, you will have roosters, you have hens, you have chicks. You agree? Yep, they form the population itself. Tommy, any question, Tommy? Now, from the population, okay, you can actually talk about population size. Yes? Okay, population size. What does that mean? Someone tell me, what does population size
how many organisms there are in a population?
Well done. So it's about the number. I hope I'm not writing too small. If I'm writing too small, do let me know. So if I'm talking about the frog population, I'm only talking about the total number of adult frogs, young frogs, and the tadpoles. If I'm talking about population size of the chicken, it will be the number of rooster, number of hens, as well as the number of chicks altogether. Okay, so population size, then we have habitats where they live. Okay, what else do you need to know? Community. Sounds familiar to you? We got community centers, right? Yeah, community centers. What is the community centers for? Is it just for specific people? No, it's for all sorts. So in a community, you can have different populations existing together or living together. So it's like they can safely live there, reproduce, carry on their daily functions. All right. So this community is like all different groups come together. Any questions so far? Yeah. So I have very briefly summarized this part here. Okay. They're living together. Right. But then in a habitat, you know that in any place that you live in, there are factors that actually will determine whether organisms survive. Right. Tommy, do you remember what are they? The different factors that affect survival? So we talk about the factors that will be availability of light, right? Then availability of water. Okay. Okay. And then we have food also. What else? Temperature. If the place is too cold, you think we can stay alive? No. If the place is too hot, we also cannot survive there. Okay. What else? What else about the habitat? Presence of other organisms. For example, do you think I will want to choose my habitat where there are lions? I'll be constantly fearing for my own life. Okay, so all these factors actually affect, the survival of organisms in the habitat. Okay, so what am I doing now? I'm doing something like a mind map. Okay, but then usually mind map, we start with something right in the center, right? If you are familiar with mind map, you would have wrote down, maybe you can put down living together. Yeah, so this topic is about living together. Then you branch out. Okay, I'm doing something similar. Now, everybody has their own way of doing their mind map. You agree? Okay, so this is one way I do it. I have other ways of doing my mind map. There is no right or wrong. Okay, it's just about how you want to do it. Okay, because I've heard of people telling students, saying that mind map must be done only this way. Actually not. It's really about your own preference. So when I look at my own mind map, I read it. So I start seeing, okay, all these different points. Yeah, this is what I need to take note of for this particular topic. So you come up with your own. How many of you are familiar with doing mind maps already? Wonderful. Are you all doing?
I do for every topic.
Wonderful. Hey, very good. This is very good. I'm proud of you, Yashika. How many of you consciously do it when you take notes? Well done. Okay. Tayo, you're not doing this when you take notes? Or are you the type who will write down, okay, last time I do this, okay, living things, all right? Pardon me for the scribble, then live in habitats. Do you do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I do when I'm lazy.
So to get your brain working, because I also am involved in this brain-based learning. Do you know, as a young child now, you are actually still not maximizing your brain, but you can? How many of you know this? Don't know. Okay, at my age, do you know I can still tap on certain areas of my brain that is not tapped upon? If I can make sure I use all parts of my brain, I can be a genius. And all of you here can be geniuses. Okay, precious? Yeah? So if you think that you can't, you are wrong. Let me tell you now, if you are tapping on all the different senses, you know there are 5 senses, right? Every time you are engaged in any activity, you need to tap on your 5 senses. When you are doing that, and you are also carrying out mind mapping, you will become a genius. Trust me on that. I do trainings on that, conduct workshops on that. Okay, we call it accelerated learning. So it's brain-based. We teach the students strategies to actually become faster learner, faster thinker, okay? And then they are going to learn extremely fast at their own pace. Your pace can even go up to 300 times what you're doing now. Yes. Okay, no kidding. If you are tapping on every single area of the brain. So I want you to start doing mind mapping from now on. Yep. Even, you see, when I'm explaining to you, do I type in point form? I didn't. I do my mind mapping as I explain to you. Yeah, so this is the way I'm doing things now. I want you all to engage in this. Clear? Yeah. Okay, so what do I do next for all of you? We talk about food chain. Okay, because last lesson, okay, actually Tommy and Yashika already started on food chain, right? And they started learning. Okay, it's not something they have learned in school yet, but they picked up during the tutorial now. So what are food chain? Okay, food chain actually represents energy flow, or we call it energy transfer. Okay, so it is going to show you organisms, including plants and animals. So these are like things I know about food chain. I just write down first. Okay. Tommy, are you doing your notes now? You sure not? You did, Okay, show me. Okay, good. Right. So what else about the food chain? They are also okay, I don't write this. Hold on. When they overlap, okay, so when they overlap, they form food webs. Food webs are more complicated. All right. Food chain is just one single row, okay, of one organism being eaten by another, etc. So you do this now. Okay, later on, you can show me very quickly what is the food chain that you have in terms of your mind map. Yeah. Okay, show me your mind map. Now, so they include plants and animals, right? We always start with producers. Okay, always starts with producers. All right. So these are the important things we take note of. Okay, so this is actually followed by primary consumer, right? Primary consumer will eat the producers. And then the next level will then be
secondary consumer.
Very good. You remember our last lesson?